is Mark and Charity Mornings.
We're getting ready for it.
He's
Sunday,
here, he's
Belleville
here.
Santa Claus Parade. It's a Mark and
Almost.
Charity Coffee Podcast. Friday, November 19th. Week ahead of the American Thanksgiving, Black Friday. But the Belleville, Ontario, Canada Santa Claus Parade, Sunday afternoon at 4:30. Charity and I are going to be the TV hosts on your TV. So it's our parade.
Yeah, you're right. It is our parade.
It's kind of like we get to yell play ball. The parade starts when we say it starts. And that is an enormous responsibility that we shouldn't take lightly.
I'm glad you don't. I plan on having some fun.
No, it's a good time.
It is going to be a
good time.
Fingers crossed the weather is going to cooperate.
5 degrees, a little bit of rain.
A little bit of rain. Little bit.
You've never hosted a parade on television before?
I have not. I have hosted nothing on TV before.
It is a bit of a change to what we are doing. Hey, it's visual.
Yes, which in itself is scary and outside the box.
I find I am reminded when I do it how distracted I am on radio, and you can't tell because I can look around and just talking.
I could be, and I quite often do, to pull the curtain back a little bit. I sit here and I fidget and I doodle, and sometimes I'm on the computer looking up things as I'm talking or you're talking, trying to get things. Yeah, there's a lot that listening you may not realize is actually going on here in the studio.
Can't get away with
Which
that
is good,
on television.
and we hope that. That's the point. But yeah, on television, everybody sees everything. And that's why I've had that, I mentioned it yesterday, the conversation with my children who are going to be there as well with us. We're going to be on camera. You may be on camera. You have to act like you're on camera. People are going to see you. So stop doing that. Leave your brother alone. Don't do that. So yes.
That whole mom
and I'm going to
voice
be doing
coming
that for me too. I'm going to be like, okay, people are going to see me. I got to behave. I can't make a face. I can't.
Charity and Wayne and the boys, Quiddy Regents, first family of Christmas this year.
Hardly.
4:30 it gets going. It will be broadcast live on your TV if you are not able to go, and no doubt taped to be enjoyed throughout the holiday season. Charity and I will be there. My outfit is already laid out.
I have a good idea. I have to finalize
it.
I have to, in my head.
Right.
I think I have it. And then I have to and then I'll have to focus on the rest of my family.
Super warm pants. I'm wearing my super warm lined
there will
pants.
Be layers.
Yes.
Layers of clothing and a toque. And it's not about fashion.
Right.
It's about functionality and warmth.
There'll be a little bit of fashion for TV. Just a little bit.
There'll be some color.
For that opening shot.
There'll be color.
Okay.
But I'm
Some
going
red.
for warmth.
Yeah.
Warmth. Yes, possibly. And it's funny that we're talking about the parade right off the hop because coming up, we're going to do Ask Me Anything. And that this conversation will play into that.
Whoa.
The question that's asked this week.
The other part about from this morning's show, last night I was at a community meeting and you talk about outreach in the holiday season to people in need and charity, not you, small C charity, becoming a big part. We talked about how
absolutely.
good deeds, more people are going to give money this holiday season.
More so than even pre-pandemic.
Yeah.
Yes, it's all about giving.
Everybody's recognized that we are in it together. We, lip service, time for the rubber to meet the road. Let's make it work. But at the meeting, somebody brought up the point, they said, it isn't just who we think it is. A great number of people have moved and then the pandemic hit. So there is a tremendous amount of people who have moved to our area since March of 2020 that literally have not been able to enjoy the new city they moved to, be it Belleville, Trenton, Brighton, wherever, Napanee, in the area that we listen to, because everything got shut down. And they moved here, had no opportunity to make friends, and are basically isolated amongst all of us who know what's going on. And they don't. And they don't know where to go to ask for help. They don't know. They're probably too embarrassed to say parade. What parade? Where's Bridge Street? They don't even know.
Yeah.
So we talked about this morning the importance that we all have as citizens to be ambassadors to our city when we got a text from Dave who said, my wife and I moved here in November of 2020. So they've been here basically a year. And I still don't know where everything is. So we gave Dave a call.
How have you found it? Has it been difficult to get around and to get to know the area of the city?
Not really, because I also work at the Starbucks at the drive-thru.
Right. Okay.
So I get around very easily that way because I'm also only a 10-minute walk from there. So I also play darts at the Legion on Mondays.
Okay, so between the Legion, darts, and Starbucks, you've met everybody in town.
Pretty much.
You know what's going on. But you haven't seen our parade. You're going to go down the parade on Sunday?
I'm going to try.
Yeah.
All right, good.
Wonderful. Now, you had mentioned that there were still some things you couldn't find. What is you can't find? Maybe we can help you.
Well, things in general, right? Because you can't really do anything because of the pandemic.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
On the 10th of December, I'm actually having my entire family come up here from Ottawa to have our little Christmas before Christmas.
Okay, well, that's nice.
Well, that's kind of nice to be able to do that this year.
Yeah, that's one thing we weren't able to do last year.
Right. Now, they'll be able to find a Starbucks. That's good.
Oh, God, yeah. We're all covered.
We got all that. But do you know where Jane Forrester Park is?
Not a clue.
Okay, so that's at Myers Pier.
Right at the end of Front Street.
Okay.
So if you follow that down to the bay, it is going to just follow the lights. It's going to
right
be
by the boathouse, right?
Exactly.
Yes, and you follow that right past the boathouse. If you hit the water, you've gone too far.
Mm-hmm.
Don't go in the water, but just go as far as you can.
I've been to the boathouse before. Well, actually, the first weekend when we moved here, we went to the boathouse for dinner.
Okay.
Great place for dinner.
Great place. So you just go down there,
really is.
and it's going to be lit up beautifully every night throughout the holiday season. So make sure you take that in.
Downtown, of course, also lit up, and they'll have markets set up.
Awesome.
What else can we do? Whenever you come up with something, text us, and we'll do our best to help you out.
Well, I appreciate that. Thank you.
No, because we think this is what the Friendly City is all about, and you enjoy the parade, and I hope you and your wife have a wonderful time living here.
Thank you so much.
So I'm sitting in that meeting last night, and this sort of discussion's churning in my head, and I thought, I wonder if that would actually do any good if I said that. And then there's Dave.
Yep.
So they were really hitting on something that hadn't even occurred to me.
Well, and the point is, too, they may know certain areas, but we use names. We use landmarks, and even that they're not familiar with. We were talking about this morning, like Myers Pier. He might know where Myers Pier is. He might, the waterfront, but not realize that that's Myers Pier, and that may be what we're talking about. Yeah, there's a lot of, unfortunately for these people, there's not misinformation, but lack of information, and they haven't had the ability to go out there and really explore yet.
We'll use, colloquialisms for landmarks, and like I'll make up a name like we're to say, hey, we're going to go tobogganing on the Big Hill. If everybody down knows what the Big Hill is, how would you know that if you just moved here? And yet you've been here for 2 years, wanted to take part in these things, didn't know where it was. So if you ever have an opportunity to meet a neighbor now that we're all getting out a little bit more, and just reach out, because they may feel very isolated having moved here and not had an opportunity beyond maybe their kids' schooling or church or social clubs or a hockey game or whatever to say, do you need some help? Welcome to town. I know you've been here a year. How you fitting in? Maybe the best thing you ever do for them all day. So that was a neat idea. And it plays into something we talked about on the air yesterday, and is that 3/4 of us believe that if we do a good deed, the next person will pay it forward. And that's one of the reasons why we'll do it. We do it to feel good, but we also believe that it will live on in somebody else. So what is a good deed? Well, according to the story we had yesterday, a good deed is something that makes somebody else feel good. 64%. So I can do whatever.
Of course.
Compliment, right? Helping out with a little task.
Yep.
Nearly half of us believe a good deed is somebody that benefits another individual, regardless whether you know them or not. So it's not like you just have to do something for a friend. You can do something for a total stranger.
For a stranger, and still get that feeling and brighten their day.
46% believe that. 61% say helping somebody with a task. Back in my head, I always believe someday I'm going to change a spare tire. It's never going to happen. But in the back of my head, like when I'm driving down the 401 and I see somebody under a car,
you're going to pull over?
Somebody else is standing there, I think that person on the ground is the nicest person in the world, with another car nearby. So it wasn't a passenger or the driver of their car. I think, who pulls over? Like, I would ruin their car. Nearly half of us believe a good deed is somebody that benefits another individual, such as saying good morning.
Oh,
53%.
Saying good morning can make such a difference. And a quick story with that. I used to work in an office, and how our receptionist would say good morning to you coming in kind of set the tone for the day. You knew what kind of day it was going to be. Based on how that greeting was first thing in the morning. So if you think just saying good morning to someone just you throw it away as though it means nothing.
Right.
It really does have a very big effect on people.
I know businesses that regulate isn't the right word, or demand, but the way the phone is answered is a part of the brand.
Oh,
So you don't mess with.
that's a person's first impression
Yeah.
of that business, no question. But this person, if they were happy and cheery, you automatically felt happy and cheery as you went in. If they were a little down, if they were off and just kind of saying, good morning, then you knew it kind of brings you down too. It's like, oh, well, good morning. Okay. Is it a good morning? Maybe it's not a good morning.
And I learned that lesson when Charity started working here, because ever since we started working together, I no longer answer the phone. What? I'm allowed to do that.
Mark, you shouldn't say that.
53% say holding a door open for somebody,
Oh.
right? Just, that's the one thing that can turn you around.
So nice.
9 out of 10 say they're going to give money to charity, not you, but charities in some way, and feel better about themselves when they do it. And they are more likely, therefore, to feel better about their lives overall because they are givers. Isn't that amazing when you think about it?
And it's so
Most
true.
givers.
It's so true.
Good deeds are also rewarding. 92% of people say it makes them happy. 77% say relaxed. 71% say healthy. And if you want a life where you're happy, relaxed, and healthy, the whole idea seems to be a nicer giving person, because you will just start to feel that way. 9 out of 10 people said that the best reward is the deed itself. So how much money? On average, we will give about $168 a year to organizations and charities throughout the year, not including the Christmas season. But on average, people say we'll give up to $400 during the holidays.
Wow.
For a total of about $570 throughout the year. $168 over 11 months of the year, another $400 in December.
That's amazing.
And that's what makes people feel really good. So
It does.
from, you don't need money. Reach out to a neighbor who moved last winter. Maybe you haven't seen them very much, or had a chance to say, hey, we're going to the parade. You know where the parade is? You just wouldn't believe the impact it had. And that really came home when Dave called this morning. So we just think
thank
that's
you to
really
Dave
important.
for taking the step and commenting and reaching out to us. I don't want to say reaching out to us. Acknowledging what we're saying, perhaps, because I feel we reached out to him in a way. We were inviting him to say, you know what, if you need to know something, let us know and we'll help you.
Which leads us into the Ask Me Anything portion of the podcast this morning. We're going to need tissues for this. We're
I
good?
hope not.
Okay.
Last week, our question made a coworker
Nothing
cry.
really personal. Good. We'll
No,
hold
this
off on
is,
that today.
it's somewhat personal.
Oh,
so
no.
Jane wrote in and wanted to know, what is your favorite perk of the job? And when we were talking about the Santa Claus parade, I hope you don't mind, I'm going to go first. When we were talking about the Santa Claus parade, right off the hop there, kind of ties into this, because for me, the perk of the job, and actually what you were just mentioning, is being involved in the community. There's a lot of perks to what we do, no question. The hours, the flexibility, getting to go to shows, that kind of thing occasionally gets thrown our way. But really for me, it's doing stuff like the Santa Claus parade this weekend. It's doing stuff like Dancing with the Stars. It's doing stuff where I can be out in the community, I can be around people, and hopefully help in some way. Whether it be raising money, whether it be drawing awareness, whether it be broadcasting and bringing the parade to someone's home. That, to me, is the best perk of this job.
I don't know if I can nail that down. Not because there aren't any.
No, but as I said, there
And
are a
not
lot of
because
perks.
there aren't a lot. It's I don't know. This is going to sound awful, and I was trying to have such a good day and be a good person.
You can still be a good person. It's not going to sound awful.
I wonder if I'm not just taking it for granted after so many years, because I've been doing this almost 35 years. As much as I don't like the 3:30 alarm, I really dig getting home around noon, 11:30.
Don't think that's a bad thing. That's a great
I think
thing.
the hours is one, because not everybody in radio does a morning show, right?
No.
If you could easily work 9 to 5. Like every other job, or if you're doing shift work, but it changes every 2 weeks. I feel for you. I mean, I get it when we get up at 3:30, but at least my body's used to getting up at 3:30. How you continually change shifts, you get 4 days off, and then you go to a night shift, and then you go, wow, that to me is the biggest sleep nightmare. I would say the hours is the
It does
perk.
allow for, because I've said to you, then I don't feel we have holidays to take, but quite honestly, I don't feel like we have to take holidays very often because we are done at such a time.
Yeah.
You have a lot of your day left. So it doesn't feel like necessarily you have to take a holiday because, okay, I can still do this appointment. I can still go do stuff with my kids. I can still go get the grocery shopping done. I can still have downtime because of these hours.
And I've had people say, "Oh, you were on this morning. Must be a bummer working on Christmas Eve." How much fun that is!
It is actually.
Like,
it is really fun to work
we
over
come
the
in
holidays.
and we play Christmas music all morning. Everybody's
In our
happy
pajamas sometimes.
in slippers
Yeah.
and a Santa hat, and nobody takes it seriously. Like, you know what I mean? Like
It is. The holidays
there's
are
no-
the best time to
There's
work.
no school buses to worry about. There's usually not any dreadful news going on. It's
No, you can
fun.
really goof off and have a good time with
Maybe
it.
that's our best perk. Maybe I've just taken for granted that we're really not doing a job. Maybe that's the best perk.
And again, coming up with the community events. Like, really? Going to the parade on Sunday and watching the parade and talking about it.
Ugh, I got to work.
That's what we got. Yeah. That's what we got to do on Sunday.
Yeah.
That's too bad. Hosting Dancing with the Stars. Getting to watch these people dance and raise money. The Pull for Kids that used to go on up at the Quinny Mall.
Right.
I used to be a part of that. Oh, that was tough. That was
That's
so
hard.
tough
I
watching
know.
people pull fire trucks.
Oh, no. And then at the end,
And raise money and get to announce that and
Yeah.
say, guess what, guys? This is what.
and then when it's over, having people fall over you with thanks for coming out. Of
Because
course.
we did so much.
Yeah, that's probably the best perk.
But it
Thank you.
is,
Thank you
yeah.
for getting those in.
And-
AMAS, ask us anything.
Exactly.
Get it
Something
in.
you want to know, send it to us.
Text it in or on our radio station Facebook page, 95.5 Hits FM in Belleville. Follow that. We'll see you at the parade at some form, okay? On the weekend when we're back in on Monday, it'll be your Monday morning mashup. We'll get a phone call from Jeff Camacho of Burger Revolution. We'll see how the burger sales are
Yes.
going. There's a lot going on in the Quinte region. So thanks for hanging out on the podcast. Mark and Charity Coffee Podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and on our websites for Friday, November 19th. Have a fabulous weekend.